They were certain they had scrubbed every trace of their betrayal. Messages deleted, call logs wiped, hidden conversations tucked away in digital shadows. But the truth has a way of enduring. The evidence was never gone. It was merely asleep, biding its time. And today it woke up. A stray voice note that lingered unnoticed. A message thread left uncleaned. A screenshot stashed in the wrong folder. Each overlooked detail became a silent witness. Another crack in the mask they so carefully wore. And in a cruel twist, it was their own hands that sealed their downfall. The very device they used to deceive, to distort, to manipulate, has now turned on them, revealing everything with merciless clarity. The silence they once trusted, the invisibility they counted on, has been shattered. Now the proof screams louder than every lie they ever told. This isn't gossip, it isn't guesswork. It's a digital confession, cold, undeniable, final. What they once locked away behind passwords and encrypted walls now lies bare, open for the world to see. Sometimes all it takes is one rogue alert, one mistimed pop-up, one accidental swipe, and suddenly the truth isn't just suspected, it's undeniable, brutal, exposed. Every secret they buried has clawed its way back to the surface, more ferocious than ever. They believed the past could be erased with a touch of a screen. But the past doesn't vanish. It waits, festers, and eventually confronts them with eyes they can't avoid. Every typed word, every calculated lie, every vow made in secrecy. Now, it's all there, stamped, stored, and impossible to deny. Ask ChatGPT. There's no more spinning the story, no more gaslighting, no more manipulating their way to safety. The phone in their hand is no longer a tool for deception. It's a loaded weapon pointed straight at their reputation, their credibility, their entire life. They sense what's coming. The moment someone else lays eyes on this evidence, their game ends for good. Hiding is no longer an option. You weren't even searching for proof. It found you. Maybe it was a message that flashed across the screen for just a moment, long enough to make your heart race. Maybe the phone was left unattended, or maybe it was still in their hand when they slipped up. Whatever it was, that moment, the slip changed everything. The name, the words, the timestamp, all hit you with crushing clarity. You almost wanted to look away, almost gave them the benefit of the doubt, but instinct told you to look closer. That's when it all fell apart. A thread of messages they never intended for you to see, a forwarded email in the wrong inbox, a deleted photo still lurking in the cloud. One mistake, one misstep, and the entire lie unraveled. Everything they built, every lie, layered carefully brick by brick, has collapsed in an instant. Deep down, your intuition always knew. Those tense moments, the subtle deflections, the vague explanations that never quite made sense. It was always there, lingering in the background. Now there's no more doubt. The evidence sits right in front of you, as clear as a confession written in blood. They thought they were meticulous, believed the trail was erased, but the truth doesn't simply disappear. It lingers in digital echoes, in auto-saved drafts, in overlooked details they never imagined you'd find. And you found them all, their entire elaborate game unraveled because of one careless mistake. And you can almost feel their panic rising, even if they haven't realized what's happened yet. They don't know what you've discovered. They don't know exactly what you know, but deep down, they sense it. The moment you connect all the dots and fit the last puzzle piece into place, everything changes forever. You don't even need to confront them. The shift in your energy says it all. Without a word, they can feel it. Something in their gut twists with dread. Their breath catches, and their fingers clutch their phone tighter. The very device that once gave them a false sense of control, now it's a ticking time bomb in their hands. You see the slow, creeping realization in their eyes as their world begins to crumble. They try to keep calm, but the panic is already taking over. As their screen lights up, they scramble to unlock it, frantically searching to see what might have been exposed. Their hands are shaking, their heart is pounding. They swipe, delete, unend, remove, desperate to erase the damage. They convince themselves that if they move fast enough, they can make it all disappear, rewrite the past, escape the consequences. But it's too late. They frantically scroll through messages, wiping threads, detaching files, erratic and terrified, without even knowing exactly what you've seen. That's what terrifies them most, the uncertainty. The knowledge that something is out of place, but not knowing how deep the damage goes. Their own paranoia is consuming them from the inside. All you have to do is watch, because nothing they do can stop what's coming. The truth isn't just stored in their phone anymore. It's reflected in their actions, their reactions, in the unmistakable terror gripping them. They're no longer in control. They're drowning in the chaos of their own making. For the first time, they're feeling exactly what you felt all along, the unmistakable sense that something is deeply wrong. Only now it's not just a feeling, it's their inescapable reality. They check their phone, refresh, again and again, desperate for an undo button that simply doesn't exist. Their world is spiraling out of control, and there's nothing left for them to do. Quick pause, family. If this message is resonating with your soul and you feel moved to support this sacred work, you can buy me a coffee using the link in the description. Your support helps keep this space flowing with truth, light, and divine clarity. And if you're vibing with this, drop the number 88 in the comments. Let's keep going. They believed they were untouchable, that their web of lies would keep them protected forever. But divine justice never misses its mark. And what's unfolding now is just the beginning. This isn't luck or random coincidence. It's the precision of the universe at work. You didn't chase the truth. It landed in your lap exactly when it was meant to, at the very second it would have the greatest impact. Maybe you had suspicions before. Maybe you could have uncovered the truth sooner, but it wouldn't have hit this hard back then. Now the timing is perfect. The stage is set. They have everything to lose. Their reputation, their influence, that carefully crafted image they work so hard to protect. The moment this truth comes to light, it won't just shake their foundation, it will break them completely. They thought they had time, thought they were safe, convinced themselves the universe would always look the other way. They couldn't have been more wrong. Divine justice doesn't rush. It moves with intention. It waited, watched, set the perfect trap, and let them walk right into it. No escape plan, no safety net. Just at the very moment when they stood tall, convinced they were invincible, that's when the fall is the most devastating. Falling from the ground means nothing, but a fall from the top, that shatters everything. You don't have to lift a finger, don't have to expose them, don't even need to send a single message. The weight of truth is doing the work. Their phone is turned against them. Their words are backfiring. Their actions are sealing their own fate. All you have to do is sit back and watch as divine timing moves with the strategy of a grandmaster, revealing every hidden piece, crushing every fake move, closing in with checkmate. There's no escape, and they feel it, because this was never about revenge. It's about restoring order. And stop right there. Yes, you. Not everyone is going to resonate with this message, and that's okay. If this doesn't hit home, keep it moving, no hard feelings. But if you're feeling this deep in your spirit, if your gut and your soul are lighting up right now, then you already know what's up. If you're ready, you'll know where to find us. If not, that's perfectly fine. Some doors aren't meant for everyone. At first, it was just a whisper, a subtle shift, a hesitant glance, a brief pause. Someone who used to defend them without question now isn't so sure. Someone who used to believe every word starts to doubt. You see the shift everywhere. Their loyal followers no longer nodding along blindly. Friends hesitating before co-signing their lies. Doubt is creeping in, and doubt is powerful. Once it takes root, it spreads like wildfire. One person sees the cracks, then another, and then another. The whispers get louder, turning into conversations, turning into undeniable realizations. The narrative they spent so much energy controlling is unraveling before everyone's eyes. It's all slipping from their grasp. Now people are finally connecting the dots, the contradictions, the inconsistencies, all the things that never quite added up, but no one dared to question before. Now the truth isn't just exposing them to you, it's exposing them to everyone. And once that happens, there's no going back. Their so-called empire was never built on real power. It was built on illusion, a carefully curated performance designed to manipulate perception. But illusions can't withstand scrutiny, and now the same people they fooled are turning against them. Not because you said anything, not because you exposed them, but because the truth has a way of revealing itself all on its own. You don't have to speak, defend yourself, or convince anyone of anything. The weight of their own deception is doing all the work. And the walls they built are not just cracking, they're caving in around them, and they're powerless to stop it. At first they spoke with such confidence. Every word, every message, every excuse, they all served to control the narrative. And for a while it worked. They believed they could outtalk the truth, that their web of lies was too complex for anyone to untangle. But now every lie, every manipulation, every contradiction is suffocating them. The messages don't match their stories, the timelines are off, and the details are leaking through the cracks. You don't even have to look hard. The inconsistencies are glaring. Right out in the open. A lie repeated enough doesn't become truth. It just becomes easier to expose. They can't keep up with their own deception. They swore they never said certain things, but the screenshots prove otherwise. They claimed innocence, but their own voice recordings betray them. They insisted there was no one else involved, but the forgotten messages say otherwise. Their words are working against them, choking them with the very script they wrote. You don't need to argue or persuade anyone. Just wait. Because when a house of cards is built on deception, its collapse is inevitable. And right now, it's already falling apart. They've spun too many stories, and now they're trapped inside their own lies with no way out. You can feel it, the shift in their energy, the pressure building, the anxiety they can't shake. They're unraveling. The confidence they wore so easily is gone, replaced by restlessness and paranoia. They're checking their phone constantly, not out of habit, but out of fear. Scrolling, deleting, refreshing, every notification feeling like a death sentence. Every unread message a ticking time bomb. They're just waiting for everything to blow up. Because deep down, they know they can't hide forever. Sleep escapes them, their focus is gone, and they can barely breathe with the fear of being exposed haunting them, day and night. Even though you're silent, they feel it, their own guilt whispering in the quiet, replaying every lie, every betrayal, every moment they thought they got away with. They used to move so carelessly, but now they flinch at their own reflection and jump at every shadow. Guilt isn't something you outrun. It lingers, settling in the chest like a weight that never lifts. For them, that weight is suffocating. You don't have to do a thing. They are destroying themselves, piece by piece. The things they clung to, their influence, their control, their manufactured image, are slipping away. You can see it in how people speak to them now, in the hesitation, the doubt, the unspoken shift in perception. They feel it too. The conversations are different. The energy has changed. They're no longer the authority they pretended to be. People are watching, not out of admiration or trust, but to witness their downfall. And it's happening in real time. They once thought their name carried weight. But reputation means nothing when the truth finally catches up. Allies are backing away, supporters are silent, and their defenses are crumbling. Everything they once used to hold power is now working against them. You simply observe as they lose sleep and spiral into deeper desperation. Their words fall flat. Their presence no longer commands respect. And the illusion of control is shattered. Divine justice isn't playing by their rules. And they feel the unraveling. The slow, excruciating descent they cannot stop. Their once perfect image is cracking publicly. Not in secret, not in whispers, but for everyone to see. That's their worst nightmare. Scrambling, panicking, spiraling into their own undoing. You don't have to fight, expose, or explain yourself. Justice is already moving, everything unfolding exactly as it should. They're unraveling right before your eyes, the desperation in their voice growing louder, the paranoia etched into every action. You can sense their panic, feel the frantic energy as they scramble to hold together a world that is collapsing in on itself. They are drowning, not just in chaos, but in the very chaos they created, lost in the tangled web of their own making. And you don't chase after them. You don't beg for explanations. You don't let yourself be pulled back into their storm. You refuse to lower your energy to match theirs. Because you are no longer trapped in that storm. You have risen above it, elevated beyond their reach, anchored in a higher peace. There's a stillness in you now, a quiet, unshakable knowing that this is simply divine order at work, the universe correcting itself. They thought they could play God, that they could manipulate, deceive, and control without facing any consequences. But the truth is, they were never truly in charge. Now reality itself is teaching them what happens when you tamper with what is not yours to hold. You observe as the truth closes in, wrapping tighter and tighter around them, dismantling everything they tried to build on falsehoods. It's not collapsing because you forced it to. It's falling apart because it was never meant to stand in the first place. You've shifted to a different frequency, a higher vibration. Their downfall no longer concerns you. It's not about gloating or revenge. You don't need to seek retribution or prove anything, because you always knew this day would come. This moment is just confirmation of a greater order unfolding, an inevitable reckoning that was destined from the very beginning. They craved what was never meant for them, your influence, your energy, your divine favor. That's what they wanted most, believing that if they could only possess it, they'd gain the same blessings that flow naturally to you. But there was one critical flaw in their thinking. What is meant for you can never truly be taken by someone else. They thought they could steal your light, mimic your every move, imitate your words, and somehow claim your destiny as their own. They believed if they acted the part long enough, the universe would grant them the same gifts it freely gave you. But the truth is, what is stolen can never carry the same power as what is divinely ordained. They gripped so tightly to something that was never meant to fit in their hands, and now it's crushing them. The very power they once envied has become a weight that suffocates. Because divine gifts do not belong to those who operate in deception. They tried to manipulate, to cut corners, to draw energy from a source they could never truly embody. And that was their greatest mistake. They never realized that your favor isn't just about what you have or what you achieve. It's in who you are, in the depth of your spirit, in your calling and your alignment with something so much greater than yourself. You received these blessings because you could carry them, because you walked the path, learned the lessons, survived the storms they couldn't. And now the burden is eating them alive. The constant effort to keep up the illusion is draining every ounce of strength from them. The power they pursued so relentlessly is now devouring them from within, exposing the emptiness beneath their facade. Now, in their moment of truth, they finally see it. The truth that what they desired was never just about material gain or outward influence. What they longed for was your essence, your light, the spirit within you that cannot be copied or stolen. They moved forward with arrogance, convinced they could hijack your destiny, thinking if they watched you closely enough, mimicked your steps, and followed your path, the same doors would magically open for them. But they forgot one crucial thing. They never walked through your fire. They didn't endure your trials or survive your battles. That's the difference. And now it's a truth they can no longer escape. They never carried the weight you bore, nor paid the price for the wisdom etched into your spirit. They didn't endure the sleepless nights, the heartbreak, the moments where hope felt like a flicker in a hurricane. They wanted the rewards without facing the hardships, craved the blessings without enduring the burdens that forged your character. When they reached for the same power that the universe placed in your hands, it slipped away and turned on them, exposing their motives and magnifying their unworthiness. What is sacred never bows to the hands of the unworthy. And now, all the forces they so arrogantly tried to manipulate are working in reverse, unraveling every illusion they built. The divine favor they tried to mimic is gone, stripped away like a mask under a harsh light. The influence they manufactured is crumbling. The false identity they tried to inhabit is slipping through their grasp, dissolving before their eyes. You remain untouched, whole, and unshaken, because what was truly meant for you was always shielded from their reach. Destiny cannot be stolen. Spiritual inheritance is never up for grabs. It's earned in the crucible of challenge and humility, not in the shadows of deceit. Now, as the truth exposes every layer of pretense, they are being taught the most painful lesson. The universe will never allow stolen light to shine as brightly as light that was rightfully earned. They thought they controlled the narrative, believed they had power over how the story would be told, how you would be seen, how people would remember you. But truth is not obedient to human will. The truth doesn't take orders, and it doesn't wait for permission. Now the truth is racing ahead of them, moving faster and more forcefully than they could have ever prepared for. You don't have to speak a single word, don't have to show a single screenshot, don't have to expose them or engage in public battles. The universe itself has already orchestrated everything. Someone saw the truth, someone saved the proof, someone sent the messages that needed to be seen. Their words, their lies, and their schemes are out in the open, forwarded and shared, igniting a wildfire of awareness among those they once manipulated. Desperation consumes them now as they try to contain the blaze, making frantic calls, sending desperate texts, scrambling to convince people that things aren't what they seem. The irony is inescapable. Every move they make to cover up their deception only gives the truth more power, spreads it further, makes it louder. Screenshots don't lie. Receipts don't edit themselves. And digital evidence is eternal. Their reputation, once protected with so much effort, is no longer theirs to defend. It has become a story in the hands of the people who are finally waking up to the betrayal. People who now realize how deeply they were played. And here's the twist of fate that stings the most. Those they once relied on to defend them are silent. The friends who once leapt to their aid, the allies who swore loyalty, the supporters who echoed their words, none are stepping up now. No one wants to risk their own integrity for a lie that's already crumbling. You never needed to seek revenge, never needed to ruin them or stoop to their level. You didn't have to expose them or demand an audience for your truth. The universe itself stepped in. Divine justice has always been patient, allowing them to dig their own grave, letting their arrogance blind them, letting them believe they were winning until it was too late to recover. Now, as everything unravels, they are living out the very consequences they tried so hard to avoid. Look at them now, panic etched on their faces, desperation in their every action, as the downfall they thought would be yours is now theirs. They once plotted your destruction, thinking their lies and manipulation would shatter your spirit. But all their efforts did was create a trap for themselves, a grave of their own making. You remain untouched, unbothered, even elevated by every attempt they made to tear you down. Every trick, every rumor, every scheme was flipped and sent back, proving that what is destined for you can never be stolen or ruined by the darkness of others. They wanted to play God, but divine justice is never in a hurry and never fooled by appearances. It waits. It observes. It allows the arrogant to enjoy their illusion of victory, only to deliver justice at the perfect moment, one they never saw coming. Now they are isolated, drowning in the sea of lies they spun, stripped of support, stripped of credibility, with no path left but to face themselves. Their empire, built on countless layers of deception, is collapsing, brick by brick, leaving them with nothing but the truth and the consequences of their own actions. Even they started believing their own stories, but the truth remains, unmoved, incorruptible, and eternal. You never had to chase after justice, never had to exhaust yourself proving who you are or what was done to you. The weight of their actions pulled them under. Now, in the ruins they created, they are gasping for air, their whispered rumors drowned out, their influence shattered, their control completely vanished. All their efforts to break you were wasted. You never lost your power, never doubted your worth, never let them make you question your path. They wanted you to beg for answers, to seek validation, to crumble under their shadow. But the divine never allows the righteous to be dominated by the unworthy. You never needed revenge. You never needed receipts. You never needed to justify your light to those who could never understand its source. The truth moved quietly, confidently, revealing everything that was always hidden, making sure that their fall would be total and undeniable. Now they are left with nothing but their own regret and the reality that you are still standing, whole and undefeated. exactly where you are meant to be. You owe no explanations, no apologies, and not a single ounce of wasted energy to people who never deserved your story. You win not because you fought harder, not because you exposed their lies, but because you simply stayed true to yourself and refused to play a game you were always above. This is divine order. You are proof that justice, patience, and truth are stronger than any deception or betrayal. You rise, untouched, unbroken, and divinely favored, because what was written for you has always been shielded by higher hands. Your story does not end in defeat. It ends in ascension, and their collapse, a sacred reminder, what is meant for you will always find its way, and what is not will always crumble in the hands of those who try to steal it by force. That's all for today, dear Father. I pray for the deepening of my faith. Teach me to trust you, even when I cannot see the way forward. Help me believe in your eternal presence, even in silence, even in uncertainty. I know your plans for me are filled with hope and abundance, not destruction. You are preparing a future more beautiful than I can imagine. Thank you, gracious and everlasting Father, for hearing every whisper of my heart. I offer this prayer in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your unwavering love and faithful provision. I'm grateful for your presence and the overflow you continue to bring into my life. If this message touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs this word. Drop a comment below and let us know where you are on your journey and how you're preparing for your own divine comeback. If you'd like to support our work, consider donating through Buy Me a Coffee. Your contribution, big or small, helps us grow and keep delivering soul-nourishing content. Every offering matters, whether it's a penny, a prayer, or simply sharing this video. Your kindness carries light further than you know. But don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful insights on the unmistakable signs that you are the chosen one. We're honored to walk this sacred path with you. Thank you for staying with us until the very end. Keep shining, keep rising, and walk boldly into the destiny that was always yours. Until next time, blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Ask Chat GPT.